What's going on, traders? I'm excited to get into this market today. Of course, CPI coming in and changing everything up like it usually does. Right now, it's the battle of the 446.25 area. I've been seeing that battle on the upside, downside around the 445, 445.20 area. Which way will this market go? There's only really one way to find out. It's to stick right here, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and let's get right to it. Live trading with Benzinga, of course.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
What's going on out there, team? How we doing? We're ready to get into all the action. Of course, we're at live trading here. Going to get into some good day trading coming up, and we'll see. The market is on a battle right now. I'm going to take a look to see what's going on, but definitely it's been a good day so far for me as, of course, DraftKings still in the red overnight. So looking great there. You guys definitely smash the like for that. Let's see if we can get some likes today. I'm trying to get to 200 like goal today. You guys do us the favor. If you guys enjoy the show, just hit the like. That's all I ask, right? I don't ask you guys to go and sign up for this or that. I just want you guys to just take a look, right? I am always going to be fully transparent with you guys. That's who I am. Money Mitch, of course. Let's get right to the action. Let's take a look at what's going on in the market right now. Right now, I just want to take a look at the SPY action. And hold on, Hendrix is just on the keyboard there. And that might be why it's not working. You guys will see little Hendrix's ears over here. I'll have to fix the camera up a little bit. But let's get to the action. Definitely. Hold on one second, guys. I think Hendrix might have messed with my camera here. Or at least my Chrome doesn't seem to be responding here. Just give me a second, guys. Having some issues there. There we go. It finally woke up. Up. All right. At least I didn't get the rug pull out. So here we go, guys. I can start taking a look. My computer woke up there. I don't know what Hendrix was pressing. But there you guys see it. The SPY battling right now. And this is the battle right now. I think it's very important to kind of draw out and kind of pay attention to. We'll see what happens here. But overall, not looking that good right now on the SPY. You guys can see it from this morning. The battle's on right here. And so if you look to the left, what do you guys see? All right. So don't worry about what you're seeing in the pre-market. Look a little bit further into yesterday's little peak right here. And so that's going to be the upside action move. And this is going to be the downside action move, right? Can we cut through this lower spot? And of course, there's an expansion move here. So that's where we're going to draw the red line. Boom. This is our red line for downside action still staying in the market. And this is going to be our green line. This is what I like to do almost every day. I do this because I want to have always two approaches to the market. So if the market is going to come up and I want to play bullish plays, I want to see the green getting taken out. If I'm bearish and I'm seeing some red action, I want to see that red get taken out. And of course, we'll take a look at what's going on in the market. If you guys have any tickers to throw up, smash the like and give me a stock. Yes, you've been Hendrixed. Hendrix is something else, man. Let me just tell you guys. There's a reason why he's a rock star. Let's get to the action. Man, I should play some Jimi Hendrix later today. Get my monetization hit today. What do you guys think about that? I'm going to get in trouble for that later. But smash the like out there, guys. There's one thing that I always try to do is have a good time. We will not be having Ryan on today. He is taking a day off and just, hopefully enjoying it. There's one thing that's for certain. Work hard and play harder, baby. That's for certain. I hope that Ryan's having a good time today, maybe out on a golf course somewhere or just even a driving range and just doing what he can do and enjoying his day. So we'll get after the trading action. If you guys got smaller names, especially, today's the day to throw them up because I will go through them. I got no problem taking a look at it with you. All right, let's get to the action. Let's get to, of course, the trade the pool. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on. We'll see who wants to see my day trade or swing trade in DraftKings, right? Because that's what I've been doing here. Let's get to it. All right, sharing my screen here with you guys. Just give me 1 second. There you guys see it. Trade the pool. DraftKings still on, guys. 200 shares. I took some profits yesterday, right? Had to pay myself, right? As it came down, especially to the 30-60, 30-70 area, I took profits. Now I have an order out there for 30-30 to take another 100 off, and then I'll look for another downside action move. If we can continue to run with this swing trade, this is how I make my money, guys. This is what it's all about. This is swing trading, right? And I need to do this more often with this account. I'm going to still take some day trades, but I'm going to continue to work that $8,000 that I have for overnight action in swing trading action. Why? Because that's where my bread and butter lies. Always know where your bread and butter lies. What is your best strategy? We want to have multiple tools in our tool belt, but we always got to know what's our best tool. And if that's the hammer, always go back to that hammer, baby. So we'll see what else is going on in the market today. Let's go to some smaller names. If you guys have anything, we can talk about them. AVTX, Kel, guess what? Tradable on Trade the Pool. You guys see me right now and take a look here. AVTX starting to get that lift through the 23 cents. Let's go to the daily chart first. Let's always work backwards, right? So what am I looking for? A lot of the times, if I look at the daily chart, I'm thinking Dow theory. Dow theory, you guys do some research today in what Dow theory is, but a lot of the times stocks have a tendency of going up, coming back down, having that third wave where it goes up, a number 4 to 5 pullback, and then maybe one more expansion, but usually comes the correction, right? So what do I see here? I see a jump up, a pullback, a jump up, a pullback, a jump up, and now a push towards the breakout above 440s. But then what happened? Boom, the stock got just smashed now. And then if we zoom in here on the dailies, when this stock has popped after that, what has happened every single time? Every time the stock pops, the stock drops. The stock pops, the stock drops. The stock pops, it drops. Pop, drop, pop, drop, pop, drop. I don't expect anything changing on this one today. Until this thing goes back, let's say above 20 cents, I wouldn't pay attention to it. But that's just my outlook. And I'm always going to keep it straight with you guys. Like always, you guys call your own shots. What we're here for, of course, is education only, for informational purposes, not for investment advice. Of course, I can be maintaining positions in the securities discussed. Smash the like. Let's keep going. If you guys have some other smaller names, I'm all for it, man. AXLA. I'm going to keep going through some names and finding out if we have them tradable here because I want to keep an eye on it today, guys. And you guys got to help me out too. If you guys see these, let's call them out in the chat. Let's call out resistance, support. Where are you looking for it? And maybe if there's a catalyst out there helping us out. MSOS short again. That would be an interesting idea, Ben. We'll talk about that coming up. It's actually on my radar. I like the way you're thinking, Ben. All right, so you guys see here 135 acting as clear resistance on AXLA. I can see that as, just easily, right? And so this topping action went to 143. I draw a trend line here, and I can see that you're trying to hold that trend line right now on the breakout to the upside, and I'd want that to hold now, right? Any pullback into this area also holding is going to be important to me. And then I look to the left, and I'm like, okay, so where's support? Boom. You see how that runs into each other? These are levels that I'll be watching for towards the open, right? So we'll see what happens there. AXLA now coming back down. It needs to hold this pullback, get back into that 135 range. If not, it could come easily to that 122. And I'd want it to hold there and come back because if it lets go of that, it could easily come back to 110. 110 is the next layer that I see there. And I've got to be a little bit careful if I come back down towards 110 area. Right. And so we'll see what happens there on AXLA. All right, let's keep going, guys. We could also go through here just on the right-hand side, SLE coming up there. That one's an interesting chart there just because it looks kind of like bull flag. Does it want to come back to 3? This is actually one that's going to be on the radar, guys. We just got to continue to watch these, and we can set alerts. So I'm actually going to go back to that one that we just talked about and try to set alerts here, do more alert setups for us, at least especially today. So 260s here set up for SLE, AVTX. Let's do a setup for a 25 breakout or 24 breakout. I'm just going to have a lot of alerts and try to let you guys know as I see these move. Workhorse. Oh my God. I remember when I called Workhorse. This stock right here, guys, is how I got my job here at Benzinga. You guys know it. Yes, a stock is why I think I got a job here. Jason might say it's something else. I think it's because of Workhorse. I think he was stunned on how I was able to call that stock. So, hey, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. We'll keep getting after it, right, team? All right, let's keep going, guys. We'll see what else is going in the market. What do I think about Oracle? I got you. I'll keep running through it here, guys. I'm going to try to go at a faster pace here and keep watch on some stocks. Okay, so MSOS was one thing that we were going to talk about, so let's keep going through that first. This looks like a really nice setup, especially if the market comes down today. But what am I seeing? I'm seeing the SPY starting to work its way back towards that 446.30 area. Do we get a break above 446 or 447? We'll keep watch. That is approaching the green area that I was talking about earlier. So we'll see out the gates what happens here on MSOS. It could keep going higher. And so what I want to see is maybe a wick out the gates. So if it can wick here to 890s and then just come right back down through the 870s, that's when I'll go smacking it. I got a good trade on this one yesterday. I wasn't able to hold for the secondary move. It eventually stopped me out break even when it came back here to like 65s, but it hit 870s and then went back down towards the 820s. That was the move that I was really looking for. Not just this first downside action, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes. We'll see what happens here on this cannabis stock. All right, let's keep going. Becca, you remember the SPACs attack, baby? You know it. Becca, we're always on top of it. I mean, I can't remember how many really crazy calls we had on the SPACs attack, but there were some days where we were easily at least looking at 40, 50, 70% gainers. I still remember Lucid, right? On the upside and then calling it on the downside. This is what I love to do. You got to be nimble. We got to be fast. We can't stick to one outlook and always be willing to change it. Let's go to stock Oracle. Jan, this thing got whacked, right? Pretty whacked, pretty hard a couple of days now. And so now that you're back down here, do you start to see some buyers come in? Well, we were looking at this gap prior to this. And if we didn't pay attention to that downside action, right? If I didn't pay attention that it came down so fast, and I just was paying attention to see this gap fill and then maybe taking shots off of it, well, now I have levels that I can go off, right? So I would be looking off at like this 107.50 spot, looking to see if this could come back up after this down gap. But of course, it's been hit hard. So let's see if it can rebound today. So this is actually one that we can maybe look to see if it's had enough downside action. So what can I see? I see one really big hit, two big hit, three big hit. Maybe we make an attempt back down towards that and recover today is something that I could look for in Oracle. So we'll see what happens there in Oracle. I'll be looking for a recovery. And the thing is, it's below the gap area right now. So keep your eyes on that gap area to see if you can recover that gap area to the left here. The high here, it's actually going to be the close 109.85. If it can close, start getting back above 109.85, that's what I'd be looking for. Let's get to the 100 likes. Let's go. Smash it up there, guys. I would really appreciate it going through stocks that you guys in the chat. And like always, if you're new to the show, hit the subscribe button. What the hell are you waiting for? This is the place where you want to be. We cover not only the latest trends in the markets, but also all the market action and then some live trading. Come on, guys. Smash it up. Let's keep going, guys. All right, let me get my stream deck on because I got to do a little dancing today. I'm by myself. We got to keep this going. And you know the Mitch, one and only, here by himself is going to keep this thing going. And today, guys, I'm feeling a little bit like The Rock.
It's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour. Put in the work. Put in the hours and take what's ours. Like in some more in my veins. My culture banging with strange. I change the game. So what's my motherfucking name? What they're gonna get?
Let's go, guys. Let's get it. I'm ready to get into this market. I don't know about you guys, but good coffee this morning. Let's go. Smash it up. All right. Someone saying they're shorting Apple at 177. That's interesting. Look at the SPY reject again here, guys. This is what I'm going to continue to watch all day long here, but I'll bring it in here just like this so you can see it. Like we've been talking about this level. Look at that rejection again. Let's see what happens here out the gates, guys. We just get the bell to ring right now. Let me go ahead and pay attention here to DraftKings, see what happens if I can get some profits today in DraftKings. I do want to take some profits here, so we'll see what happens. All right, guys. We'll see what happens there on DraftKings, but I will be looking at some other trades. Let's take a look there at some of our penny names. I'm going to, of course, throw those up. Can I take a look at Disney? I think Disney has done a little bit of a reversal off the 80s. It's been hot as of late, of course, kind of helping itself out, resolving issues with charter communication. See if the market comes up today. Disney's not a bad one to keep watch on the up action. There's the market coming up a little bit there. So I got to be careful here. We'll see what happens. I try to take a little bit off here of DraftKings, at least a little bit. We'll see what happens there. But just continue to watch it right now. That's already spiking a little bit. Let me see if I can at least take some gains here. This could be a little bit of a trap there. I'm going to see if it gets back there to 31s. All right, setting some kind of like protective profits. So above 31s, I'll take my gains there. But if it just comes right back down, I want to be able to get this limit filled at the bottom here. So we'll see what happens there if I continue to attack DraftKings today. Let's go to MSOS here. MSOS rejecting that 875 right out the gates, already coming down here to the 850s. So I can keep a watch on MSOS. SPY's ripping here, though, so be careful out there, team. All right, we'll see what else is going on there. Mullen being mentioned in the chat. AVTX mentioned in the chat there. We can take a look at that one. Still hasn't made the move there, so we'll see what happens on that one. CXAI, there you go, man. Up 10% already. Hey, Carmen, sometimes you're going to nail that. I just think, to me, this is just a little too much risk, right? I really don't see this stock as an AI stock overall. I know there's a lot of stocks that have the AI names. I'm not really looking at those to kind of survive. I think eventually they get hit hard like AI. But hey, that's just my outlook. Doesn't need to be yours. I think that's always important. SLE going off there for me. I'll take a look at that one. So I'm going to take a look to see if I could get SLE up here. Let's take a look at the 15 minutes. That popped towards 260s, now pulling back to the 250 spot. Looks interesting if it could take out 3 today. This is the interesting stock, interesting play here. Could risk off the 245 spot here. See if it holds 245 on this pullback, comes back through 250s, and then could go for like a 3 run here. I don't mind playing this with like 100 shares today, just on a smaller one. There you guys see back to 250s. I'm going to go ahead and try to take a shot here. And I'm going to set a 240 stop just to make sure. I'll do a 39 to give myself a cent of room there. All right, so I set the stop there. Let's see if it can get back up there towards 3. That's really what I'm looking at here. Pulling it down for a second here, just as we pull back. Let's see if we can get some 45 buyers to step up here. SPY starting to pull back a little bit, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. SLE has some resistance here right around this 240 area, 241 area. So let's see if it acts as support here and holds at 240. It could wick a little bit here. There's 38s, and there he goes, comes back there. So now I'm going to get back towards like the 35s. Risking a little bit more now because I have to give it a little bit of room. It's like right off of there. I don't want it to get stop hunted and then just come right back up. So this is how I do it. I pull it like down a little bit, give myself a little room here. There goes the recover. Now I want to see the 45s get bought back and then the 250s really get taken out. 250s get taken out. I'd look for the move back through 275. Going for a smaller name here, and I'm going to take a look into the market overall, but just trying to catch that, see if we can get back above the 255 VWAP. If I do get out at 35s, I'll get out at 35s. Taking a look at the sectors here, utilities, technology, defensive leading in the red, energy, real estate, and communication services. Utilities kind of taking the lead there. Technology, let's go to the high cap names, see if anything's standing out to me. Apple with a move down here now. And so it seems like it's a little bit of a battle out there. SPY overall trying to hold that 447 break to the upside. If it gets above 447, that's where I feel like we could really hold some upside action moves. So be careful out there, team. I'm seeing that 447 just get hit right now. So if you're short, you got to be careful there as you're seeing the market a little strong there. Just keep an eye out. Financial services, will this go red today? I'm going to keep an eye on that trade. JPM strong right now, so I'm just keeping an eye on that. All right, so we can get out of this SLE trade. We'll see if it kind of holds this 35 pullback. It still hasn't gone back to the 250 spot here, so it could take me out at the 35s here. We'll see what happens on that one. All right, already pulling back here. It's at the 36 there. Caught some volume. It's trying to get me out here. We'll see what we'll see what happens here. See 37 on the bid here. Keeping an eye on it. It's already coming down here. Need to bounce right here. All right, we'll go looking somewhere else, guys. If this does stop me out, it is what it is. Let's go focus and not get caught just on one stock. Let's keep looking around and see what's making moves. I'm seeing stocks L pull back a little bit here. 2080s, $21 seem interesting for me if you're looking for upside action to continue. 447 still battling here, so I'm going to look to see if we top out here anytime soon. So we'll see what happens. Overall, can we close a 5-minute candle above that 447? Something that I'm keeping a close eye on. Stock sale feeling busting loose. We'll see what happens. Known airlines. Now we know airlines have a hidden issues. I mean, this wasn't hidden, though. If you guys were surprised by what's going on in American Airlines and a Spirit, that's kind of known thing. So one thing we always want to be looking at when we're looking at airlines is fuel prices, right? And fuel prices have been rising. So a little part of me thinks at some point they top out and they come right back down. So this could be already kind of priced into the airlines. I think this has a lot to do with why you might see a bounce. But oil topped out a lot this morning and it came back down towards 89. Will it go back to 89.50 today is something that I'm keeping an eye on. All right, guys, gonna go ahead and put my other screen up so that we could take a look at the action that's going on in the SPY there. All right, let's take a look to see if we can continue this 447. If we do not continue this 447, that's going to be something definitely to watch. So I'm just keeping an eye on that. Stock sale starting to pull back. 21's on the pullback for that. I'll keep an eye out for it. All right, guys, smash the like, guys. What do I think about Moderna? Let's take a look at Moderna. Moderna mentioned for the CDC kind of push there. The only question is, how much will this get accepted, right? And I think that you're looking now at hourly charts. That's what I would be looking at for pullbacks. So where was the prior resistance? Prior resistance, I look to the left. So I see resistance over here around the 110. And then the next layer is down here towards kind of 109. So somewhere between 110s and 109s seems interesting for me on pullback. So I would be looking at like maybe 109.50s to 109, seeing if I can get in there just on pullbacks, just from the hourly action, right? So now you guys see it. It's holding this 110 pullback, multiple stops there, 110, 110.08, 110.12. I'd look for a little cut through and then I'd get in. But hey, that's just to each his own. That's just the way that I like Moderna right now on the pullback. It could come right back up. Biotechs, I'm keeping a close eye with IBB. IBB is actually strong today. This is when I was thinking about swing trading. So you know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and get a starter here in IBB. Just got a starter there of 127.94. I am getting an alert for BTU. Now we're getting going on coal. Look at that move. That's a good action move now. So I'm going to be looking to see if I can get some coal on the pullback. This is not a bad outlook here. BTU with a nice little push up. We'll see what happens if coal can continue to climb. I've been taking a look at AMR. That's been hot here. CEIX. A couple of coal names that we can take a look at. Look at the whole industry in the green except one name today. So ARCH, AMR, CEIX, BTU, METC. What's the other one that's been looking really nice? We were looking at one here yesterday that I started liking based off of the daily chart. Let's take a look here. So you got Arch, CEIX, HCC is one that we can definitely take a look at. Is it NC? Let me take a look. Just need to take a look at my lines here. That's why it's important to have stuff drawn out already. Look at that CEIX move. That's such a big move. Arch. Yeah, this one actually looks really nice. I kind of like how it's been breaking out. Pullbacks to underneath VWAP, 147, 147.50s. The spread's a little wide, but it's an interesting play for sure. All right. All right, guys. We'll see what's going on there. ARCH. Roblox, interesting move. I did get out of that SLE play. Just to kind of let you guys know, that did hit me at the 234. So lost about 17 bucks on that one. Not stressing it. Still in DraftKings. Buy now starting to pull back from that 447. So we could see a little bit of a fake out here open. I'm looking to see if in the next 5 minutes we start getting a down move here in the market. AXLA is ripping. All right, we can take a look at that one. That one, nice little rip there. That one held the pullback, guys. Nice outlook there on that AXLA. That was a nice little rip there. Nice little pattern, actually held those pullbacks to 130. 130 seemed to be a really nice spot there. Now I'd be looking for pullbacks towards 140 here. Let's see if it holds 150 pullback, 140 area. That looks interesting on AXLA. Smaller name, but nice little pump right out the gates. There's the SPY starting to come back down. So here we go. Will we start seeing some more downside action coming in? Looking to see if the financials can go red. There's JPM with a downside action move. Will the KRE go lower? Ooh, look at the KRE. KRE, baby. That's what I want. That's coming down fast there, man. How can I play this? FAZ maybe for upside action? That doesn't look too bad. I like that spike right there. FAZ, let's go maybe long a little bit of some FAZ and look for pullbacks to add here. So I'm going to take a little bit of FAZ right now. There you guys have it. I'm long a little bit at 1776. I'll reshare my screen here for trade the pool and show you guys that position. Let's keep getting after it here. Now going towards FAZ, looking for some upside action here. Just grabbed about 200 shares, willing to add on pullbacks to 65 and 60s. So we'll look for pullbacks there. But for right now, can take a look at JPM. That's coming down pretty fast here. Goldman Sachs is one that I could look at maybe shorting. I always like to short Goldman Sachs when it comes down. Has a tendency of trending pretty fast there. So I'm taking a look at the hourly chart here on Goldman Sachs to see if we can get a rejection here and it really start to break. So these stocks have been bouncing as of late. So I'm looking to see if they really get hit down. Like Goldman Sachs, for me, that's a takedown through the 332 spot. JPM now pulling back. Let's see if JPM makes a big upside move here. If it does, then yeah, I'll end up getting out of the FAZ. But that was a pretty good sweep to the downside. If it comes back above 147.50s, that's where I'll be careful for that market to just come right back, at least for JPM. Looking to see that SPY can go lower here. It's rejecting the 447 move multiple times here. Now has pulled back here towards 447.70s. Let's see if it gets back to the 446 on downside. Little pullback off the 72. That's fine. I'm looking for 60s and 65s to add on FAZ. We stock. I don't know. Oh, WeWork. WeWork is a nice little pullback there. Let's take a look at that one. Nice little setup here. So this is what I call like kind of red to green action. And I like it off the kind of the hourly chart in 15 minutes, came back towards support, held that support, now trying to hold the resistance. Resistance is around 1479. So I kind of like this little pullback here. 467s around that area, 75 to 67. I like it on pullbacks here. And then we'll see if it gets back up through the 540s. Now, you did get an attempt there earlier today. And I could take a look at the up to down action. So up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3, and then looking for that upside action break here. Let's go ahead and draw that up. So we get an up 1. Let me pull it up. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, guys. Let me draw this again here for us. Upside action, downside action. Up, downside action, up. So in this case here, right? So you get this up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3. It should hold this support right now, this 460s, and get back up through 5. I don't mind this little pullback right here. Let's have a little fun. Let's play something a little different. I'm down to play stuff with you guys today. I just got to be careful, but I'll take a little bit there at 78. It already hit 67 and held there. So now I want to kind of risk off that 67 here. It took a little bit there. See if we can come right back up. And then when we come back up, I want it to sweep through 5. So I'm long a little bit there already. Setting my stop, so I already know where I'd be there. Let's see if we can start getting this WeWork to get a nice little uplift. SPY, I got to keep watching that. That's still battling the 447s, guys, so be careful. And bulls, if you see that 447 takeout, that's going to be good action for upside moves. Apple's been pulling back a pretty good amount right out the gates. Microsoft is the strong move to the upside. That's a nice little action to the upside. NVIDIA, big push through 450s. That tells me that, yeah, you could get a nice little tech run today. SOXL looks interesting. It just came back to 21, just slightly above. We'll see if that takes to the upside there. So at least I have one good stock that maybe could get an upside action here on but FAZ doesn't look as good as it did. We'll see what happens. JPM, though, is going lower here, so not coming back. So that's actually a good outlook there for the banks. Let's see if they can keep going lower today. I'm taking some shots out there, team. All right, SLE, is it done? Will it go down? At least it's done for me. That doesn't mean that it has to be done for you. For me, I needed it to hold this kind of flagging action. It broke down. I got out, right? And so that's all that matters to me, is knowing when to get in and out of plays, right? We'll keep watch right there. FAZ, can this start going higher through the 73 pullback? VWAP right here. I want to see it go towards 18, 1820s. Maybe even 1830s today. So I could add right here off the VWAP. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look for a little bit bigger size right now, and then look for a really quick sell of some of this size, and then look for it to keep going. So I'm taking a little bit there. I wanted to go through the 75s here, the 80s, the 85s, get back up there towards 18s. First sell at 18. Can now risk off of pullbacks towards like 60s. VWAP just below here. I just wanted to kind of take the resistance of 75. There's resistance right here at 75. It could take it out. Let's see if it goes through. We were going into the green there. I got to look to, there's the 5. Now we're starting to kind of lift there off the 5. Now I can look to add at like 70s or pullbacks into the 80s. So 485s. Let's do 480s. 485s. Yeah, I'm down to add there. 100, 485s. Going to cancel that stop loss for right now. That's looking good. If I could get this nice little pullback fill, I'll take it. There's the pullback fill. Now I have 200 shares. Now I want to see this come back up through 5 and hold off 460s. So taking a little bit more size here. Now as it comes back up, it's going to be give me a pretty good outlook if it can come back, especially to this 540 area. That's already 117. So I'm taking a little bit bigger shot there. We'll see what happens there. Just trying to make sure that I have my nice risk to reward profile here. There's a pullback to the 70s. So I could get it stop hunted here. It's coming back down fast here. So it could be a little bit of a trap off the 5s. Let's see if it can recover 470s. Remember 67s was an area that I was looking for it to hold prior. So that's why I'm holding us slightly down below that. We'll see what happens here. If it can get back above VWAP 75 and take out the 5 spot. If that could happen, we're looking good. This is a decent pullback. Just needs to hold the VWAP. That's what I'm looking for. So this is WeWork, guys. Let's go back to the FAZ. Let's keep a watch on what's going on in the market because it's not just one play today, and that's what matters. SPY pulling back to the 446.40s area. That's going to help if we start to really get downside. Now VWAP is holding. Will we make a move to 446 back? That's what I'm looking at. All right, guys, what's going on out there? AXLA going off the VWAP. You got to let me know before I get to the VWAP. Nah, I'm just messing with you, man. It's all good. VWAP, let's take a look at that one. AXLA. So what I see on here, I see a VWAP off of 140s. If I look to the left, I want to see resistance starts to hold. So on the 15-minute, you can see resistance is on this stock around, I'd put it closer towards this 137. So I'd want to see like kind of 137s hold on 5-minute pullbacks. Next layer from there is around 133. So maybe it can hold that pullback right now. That's what it's doing here. A break of 130, and I'd be out of this one. But that's just me. You guys choose your own levels. That was a pretty quick, sweep pullback there. Let's see if it can hold what was prior resistance as support and come right back up. We worked kind of the same thing for me on that one. Just wanted to hold now pullbacks here on the 5-minute from 466. It just hit 464, so really shouldn't go back through 460s here. Just need to get that uplift there. FAZ looking for that next step up through the 75s. We just hit 77, and then we pulled back. JPM pushing back up here. If it gets back above 147, that's a little bit of a concern for me, but looking also to see the KRE. KRE going lower and lower, team. That might have been the better trade to keep focused on today. Look at that one. Let's go back to MSOS. Look at that one, guys. Good call out there in the chat today. Brought it up in the pre-market about short on MSOS. I could have gone after that today. That was a nice little 40 cents right out the gate. So I think it was Ben that talked about that in pre-market. We got to give a shout out to my boy, Ben. That's a good one. And this is when you guys, I always feel like, you know how it is.
At this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Yep. It happens, guys. But Ben was on top of it. That's what it's all about, guys. Sometimes we're going to get it. Sometimes someone else is going to get it. But let's keep getting after it. SLE is at VWAP. Could be coming back. You and Roblox flushing down, says Francis. We'll keep taking a look. Jan saying check out Netflix dropping. Nice daily chart for that. Okay. Good outlook there. I appreciate you guys bringing in different plays. All right, we were coming back here to the 65s to see if it takes me out or if it comes back up. I'm right underneath there. So if it does take me out, it is what it is. Taking some shots today. That's all we can ever do as traders, right? All right, team, just looking into this MSOS action, looking to see if WeWork can bounce there. Sorry, I had to deal with a little bit of a message there from a coworker there. So just give me a second, guys. We'll be right back with you. All right, guys, pure focus, my guys. Sorry about that. Definitely focused. I'll tell you that much. All right, there's a nice little bounce there in WeWork. I like that bounce here. We could step up to the plate if we'd like to here. We're at 82s here. It just got back above 84s. Pull back to 80 here. I might add a little bit of shares. There it is. There's that little pullback. Now I just added, guys, taking a little bit of a shot here on the WeWork chart here. Let's see if we can get back up above the 480s. Now hold pullbacks to 466. There's 490s here. $5. Can we get through the $5 now? Looking to see if we can get through 5 here. 493s. Struggling here. I'm just looking for the breakthrough 5, and then I can sell some here. There's 496. Can we break through 5? Can we break through 5? There's 5. 504s. All right, guys, I'm going to take a little bit off there just to make sure that I downsize the risk, take some profits. Just took some profits there on WeWork. Now I still have 200 shares, and I should hold break even on the rest. We should get through this 5 and get a nice little lift. So I'm going to tighten the risk for right now towards 470s. But I really kind of would want to get out break even at the rest here. It's either going to give us that. I'm looking for that nice breakout through 5 now, or it would come back and probably stop me out at break even, right? Which is not a bad thing, which I'm at VWAP, right? So I'm looking for the takeout of 5 right now. But if it doesn't take out 5, I don't want to have no profits in this position because I'm still in the green right there. FAZ pulled back really fast there for me. So I got to be careful with JPM coming back on me. Of course, that could start to work back. It's almost to 147. That's kind of the level I was looking at earlier. Just want to see a rejection of VWAP, which is 147.03. If not, I can get out on FAZ. Don't want to add any more here. Just got to go ahead and just kind of watch for the pullbacks here and understand where my risk is going to be. All right, so for right now, that's around the 58s. I can handle a little bit of pullback here, but really what I'm watching is JPM. I'll show you guys that action right now. So JPM right here. So you see this pullback. Don't want to see it start driving back to 147.20s. Want it to reject VWAP around 147, come right back down to this 146.60s. KRE is starting to come back to VWAP. That might actually give me an opportunity as that presents itself back to 43.25. All right, let's keep going, guys. We got over 370 of you guys. How many likes can we get today? Smash it up out there, team. We're having a good time. Of course, live trading right in front of you guys. I'm by myself pushing it, team. Let's see what we work. Look at we work. We're through 5. Can we keep going? Let's go, we work. 146. Can we get to 200 likes? Let's break the goal today, guys. We work. Looking for WeWork to continue here. All right, let's go. Let's go, guys. I feel good. All right, we're back off, bouncing off of that $5. Now I want to see it go to 540s, 550s. I'm even raising my stop up here to 78 here, guys. So either lose 2 cents or make a good amount here on WeWork. There's 516s, 517s. Can we get through the 520s and go to the 540s? That's going to be the next area. I'll take 100 off here. Let's see if we can even just set the limit there and get it ready as we approach a little bit of a lift here. I'm going to look for a next drive. As soon as I see 520s show up, I'm going to put the order out there like at 538s, 540s, somewhere in there. 38s will be fine. Don't want to be too greedy, but trying to get this next little push here and take a little bit more profit. All right, there's 512s. Can it get to 520s? Shows up. And as soon as I see that, I'll put the limit out. All right, so FAZ hitting me on that downside action. So I did lose on that FAZ. So still down a little bit on the day. Want to get back to break even. Still working my DraftKings position. DraftKings coming right back down. So that's looking good in DraftKings as it comes right back towards 30.66. That swing trade still working really well for us. Trying to see some buyers step up here and hold and take it through the 520s. This is a big trend line test right now. We're about to test this 15-minute trend line. So you can see that here with just a line. We'll draw that here. So you can see how this is coming back here. Wanted to start holding this pullback, taking out these highs. You could even draw it up towards the high right here. And then delete this so you can see this. So this is the line that I'm really focusing on now, guys, for it to hold. If it can hold pullbacks to that, this is looking pretty good. So it shouldn't even, for me, get back through this 490. So at this point, as I start seeing it get up there to 518s, there's 520s. All right, so there's the 520 alert. I'm going to go ahead and put the order out for 38s. Would like to see a nice little push going towards 530s and into the 530s. I want to take some profits. So we'll see if we can get another kind of profit take above the 520s here. It's the nice one. Not bad. All right, let's see if we can get this next step up here in WeWork. Don't want to even come back through 5 now. Now that it's testing up there to the 520s, would like it to just hold here and take out the 525s, get back up there towards the 530s, start making a nice little break move. Let's go back to the overall market and focus on that. SPY coming down to the 446.34s. Will the Qs kind of reverse now and get back into the zone that we were in the pre-market? A lot of chop in the market today. Nice little spikes. But also, what am I seeing with the big boys? Look at Apple, another leg lower. Will Microsoft go to the red? It's bouncing off of VWAP right now. That's one that I like in the strong game. Amazon strong today. Google going now red. Tesla. What's going on with Tesla? 271 pullback. Is this an opportunity? Could be here. We'll see what happens there. If you think it's upside action, doesn't look too bad out there. I'm still watching WeWork here to see if we can get the next lift. I'm going to go ahead and cancel my order right now to see if I can get a nice little push here. Nice little drive back above the 514s, 520s. Then I can take a little bit more gains here. We work. Let's go. You want to work? Haha. Let's go, guys. What are you guys seeing out there? Can you explain what does swing trade mean? Yeah, I got you, Rustam. So swing trading is necessarily taking a stock for a swing overnight. So a lot of times it depends, right? Swing trading can mean daily, like just overnight. It can be a couple of days. It could be a week. It could be a couple of months. What really you're doing is you're buying a position and you're looking for kind of a swing to a daily high, a daily support, a breakdown. A lot of the times I'm using daily charts to determine it and then using my intraday skills to try to get the best price on that day. So if I could get the best price by using some of my day trading skills, that's going to help me. All right, now we're pulling back there, starting to hold the 5 pullback here. Definitely don't want to see it get back through the VWAP. VWAP is 487 now. You see how the VWAP starts moving up. So now at this point, I won't lose on this trade, right? I have break even 480s. So I'll just keep letting it work, looking for that break to the upside here on WeWork. Ooh, DraftKings. Let's go. Look at that downside action, baby. Let's get it. We'll see if we get some triggered out there, but I'm going to continue to watch on WeWork. All right, guys. What else are you guys taking a look at? Any smaller names? Anything you guys are taking a look at? There's 523s now for WeWork. There we go. Can we get to the 30s? Can we get to the 30s? There's 28s. Just a little more. There's 30s. All right, guys, I sold a little bit there at 530 just to take some profits. This has been a really good trade for us. That puts us back just slightly here. Now I'm going to look for this to kind of expand there. There's 540s getting up there. Can we get to maybe a halter? 550s next level to watch. And then from there, we can get 575 and 6 available to us. So with that being said, now I got to move up the stop here towards like 490s. No matter what, I'm going to get a gain here. So now it's a no matter what $10 gain, but I'm looking for a little bit more, right? Really would not want it to come back through 5 now. So I'm going to raise it up to like 495 and just keep trailing the action. Really want to see it take out 550s and get some more volume because the volume's still declining here. I need to see volume increase here on the breakout, especially on the 5-minute. If you're looking at the 5-minute, I want to see more volume than it's had all day. Last 5-minute candle that was high was 1.2 million. Can I get 1.4 million on this and a takeout of 550s? Not a bad little play there, guys. What do you guys think about that WeWork play? AVTX moving. Let's take a look at that one. AVTX, 21 cents. Not much moving there, man. That's just too low and not moving much there, trucker. I'd rather be in the WeWork one today, but that's just my outlook. AXLA. That one looking a little bit better. Held the 30s pullback, right? Now holding the 35s. Could take the next step up here. I'd risk off of 135 here if I wanted to take the shot on this one. It doesn't look too bad, though, as it holding resistance here off this 135. Let's see if it holds that, takes the next step up there in AXLA. Kind of like that off the 135 spot. Interesting one there for sure. Let's see if it takes it out. Let's see the move here. Does it want to hold it or will it come back to the 130s? If it came back to the 130s, I'd want to let go of it, but I can see there's some wick here action below the 137s. That looks to me like buyers at the 135 down towards the 132. So somewhere in there, I felt like buyers stepped up a little bit. Let's see if it can take it through the 140. 141 seems to act as resistance right now. So a move back through 146 would look pretty good there on AXLA. You can even set an alert for that move. That's a move right up through this 145. All right, let's keep going. What else is going on? Smash it up out there. Appreciate the love in the chat. Let's keep it going, guys. It's a good day. It's a good day today. It's all about the money sometimes. Today, we're making a little bit. All right, guys, what do you say? We have some fun. You guys thinking AXLA? You guys been talking about it. I'm talking about it. I talked about levels. Now I'm going to take the trade. Let's do it, guys. Just got long there, 140. Let's see if this can get through that 135 on hold 135 on pullbacks. That's where I'm going to set the stop right at 133. Giving myself a little bit of room. I think 135 is really the stop, but just to actually lay a stop out there, I'm going to do 135. Take out of 145 is what I want to kind of see here through the 150s and then go into the next level. We'll see if we can get that on AXLA. Levels to watch 143. I think that's where we could get some step up of volume and then see another drive here. If it does come back to 135, though, I'd get the heck out, at least me. And so you guys choose your own level. Let's see if we can get this through this. And WeWork, what's going on there? Holding the 530s pullback right now. I like that. It's holding there. Now I want to see it take out 540s and 550s. Then we can really start making a move on this. We'll see what happens on WeWork. Walmart at another 10-year high. Chart looks good. Interesting. Cat Love. I like the name there. Cat Love. Hey, we got to have some cat love. I love it. Hendricks is sleeping right now. He's knocked out, man. I don't know how he does it because I'm just here just like all excited and loud, but hey, you know how it goes. I got the dogs behind me. Got the whole crew here, guys. The support is good. We got to have support, guys. All right, we'll see if that AXLA gets into my favor. Just looking around. It looks like it wants to go down on you, Matthew. We'll see. I came in it with you guys. Like always, you guys choose your levels. We'll see if we can get into the green. All right, what's another one? Workhorse. What's up with the Workhorse? Ooh, that one took a hit here. I'm running through some scanners here for us here. Let's go to something a little bit higher price. Let's see how the higher price stocks are doing here. RCKT, that one, interesting name. Ford with a little bit of a lift and then a pullback. I'm looking around here, guys. Tesla had a lot of volume. Now starting to pull back there. Amazon pulled back below the VWAP there. Oh, it's right at VWAP. VWAP 142. Ooh, this looks interesting, guys. If you're looking for upside action to come back into the market, that's the upside action. SPY made an up move and then it went right down. The SPY went straight down there. So let's see if it takes out lower levels today. Banks, will that go red again? So JPM is looking like it wants to come up, but it could reject here. So I'm going to take a look at the KRE. I feel like the KRE is giving me another attempt to get in it here, and it could go right back through the 4280s here. Another thing could be actually going for some of these regional banks. So TFC is one that I've been shorting for a while now, and that looks weak, man. I've been talking about that one from 31. I'll show you guys that outlook here. TFC. Look at WeWork go. WeWork is moving, guys. Look at TFC though. So I'm talking a lot about what I talk about on Start Swing Trade, guys. That's where I give a lot of sector and industry analysis. Some call that intermarket analysis. But KRE looks interesting for me off the VWAP here. We'll see if it takes another leg lower. Could look at shorting banks, right? Could do that kind of outlook. You can see Bank of America there. Goldman Sachs is one that I'm thinking about here. I like shorting Goldman Sachs, especially if it can come right back down through this 332s. Looks interesting. It came back above VWAP there. 334 is now rejecting. But we'll see if we get some takedown in some banks today. WeWork, nice lift off there, guys. Let's get back to the WeWork action. Up there to 559s, made a high there of 65s. Can it hold 550 pullbacks right now and take that next step up to the next resistance? Resistance right here at this 570 area. Next one from there, I could see up there towards 580s. 588. So we could take some profits as we start moving up. That's one thing that I definitely want to do. So let's see if we can get one more drive here and take a little bit more profit. Hold 550 pullbacks. All right, 560 showing up here. Can they take it? Do they drive it or do they bring it back to the 550s? There's 565s here on the offer. Can they drive it? I'm watching it. I'm watching it. There it goes. 68, 65s. Boom. Nice little trade here for us. All right, guys, I'm going to take a little bit more profit there, guys. Just working my profit up, right? You guys see me piecing out of this position now deep into the green, looking a lot better. And of course, one thing that I think is important is battling back, right? I did take a major hit earlier, but now I can just keep working this kind of position. Could take another gain here. And you guys see the DraftKings gain. That's really the one that I'm looking at and continuing to stack up. That's up $300 there. So I'm not stressing too much on the day regardless. I can keep taking some shots. All right. What was the kitten bowling league called? Alley Cats? Yeah, I got to take a look at that one. That one's pretty funny. You like SLE there? Hey, we'll see what happens, guys. Looking at Tesla for 267. We'll see what happens there. Doc, you maybe have bottomed. All right. And always about the cat love, baby. Cat and dog love, man. My dog just lost a tooth, man. I was freaking out, but hey, okay, that's how it happens, man. 533 pullbacks here. Now starting to get a little bit of a pullback. It could come back all the way to $5. So I'm not going to allow that to come back all the way through any low now. So up to 498s there. So if it can touch and get me out, hey, so be it. I think what I want to do now is I want to see it start holding some prior resistance as support, which is around the 525 spot. So that's really where I want to see it hold. It could come back to VWAP 504 and then try to reload there, but I don't want to let it come all the way back down there. So you know what? We're going to go for more of a 519 stop and make sure that we take some gains, right? So worst comes to worst, we take 519's gain here. If not, I'll keep looking for it later to come up through the 580s, $6 spot is the next sell spot for me. That's on a big breakout. All right, DKNG, we'll look to see if that keeps going lower. That's definitely one that's on my radar. See that keep going down here. Let's go to the SPY. Let's take a look at the overall market, how that's doing. There's 445s now. SPY just completely rolling over today. 447, good resistance called out by me. As you see that 447 hold, now taking out the pre-market kind of action where we saw the CPI come in. Now those banks could really get hit. Let's see that bank's getting hit there. Will JPM come right back down? This is not a bad one that I could take a risk off of, like 147.10 right now for a move back down. It's about 60 cents to the downside and about 20 cents risk to the upside right now. Goldman Sachs could be another one, right, for a 332 takedown. And so you see that 332 right there. We'll see if that gets a nice little takeout. FAZ got me out right at the bottom, now starting to come back. So might have gotten stopped out of that one just at the bottom there, as I had a good outlook in shorting the banks today, just not getting it. There's the money that we made there in WeWork. It hit right now. We just took some gains there, 40 bucks. We'll take it. That got us out of the red and in the green there for the day. And of course, we have the DraftKings gains that I'm continuing to watch. SPY down there, 445.10 now. KRE on my radar here off the VWAP. I'd like to see one more little spike to 43.15s here, but I might start getting short here off of this levels. Just need to see a little bit of a pop. Would love to see 43.20s and then see that start to get smacked. All right, looking for some regional bank weakness. Yeah, give me a little move here to like 43.20s, 43.25s. I don't mind getting short there. I'm actually going to already place some of it, the order out here. So I'll do 25s for the first sell. Looking for a short of KRE. SPY down to 445, 22s, Qs down to 372s. NVIDIA, big pullback. That looks interesting. Hold up. NVIDIA, we might want to take a look at that. 450 pullback here. Does it take 450? If it takes 450 to upside, we could see this market bounce. Take down through 448. We could see tech go down again. NVIDIA's been trying to take 450s. I felt like that was a level to watch earlier in the day. It already made a move there to 454. So it's about $4 upside outlook here off maybe the 449 or the 448. So I just have to keep that in mind, but doesn't look too bad here. Depends how you feel about the market. Do you feel like we're going to come up here, or do you feel like we're just going to drag down? That CPI, I think, might have been a trick move out the gates here today, and we could be coming down. So I'm not going to bet on the upside action here, but that's just what I see, right? So let's go back. I like the KRE move. I'm looking for this move through 43.20s. It still hasn't hit that, but I'm keeping a close eye on it here. All right, there's a little bit of some downside. I'm going to already look to get some short here. Do about 300 shares. Looking for one more little topping action here. One more little pop. Hand on the trigger to get short on KRE. Intel pretty weak there. Just watching NVIDIA also to see if we get that 450 rip up. There's 450s trying to make that up move. That's why I'm a little bit careful here on the short too quickly. But I could see that downside action coming in. That's 75. So that's 25, 10 cents, 35 cents outlook for the downside action. Got to risk somewhere between 15 cents on the upside action. So that's why I look more for the 43.20 spot. We've gone up there to 43.16. Docu, you guys are taking a look at. Carmen, there's so little volume on so many stocks, way under the 90-day average. That's interesting. You could see volume come back into the name. Ben, you've been short on Apple. I remember that. Well, I think you said 177. If you did that, killing it, my friend. That's going lower. We'll see what happens. All right, DraftKings bouncing a little bit off this 40 here. I do want to pay myself a little bit. Let's see if I can get myself paid here. All right, guys, we just took some DraftKings profits at $30.43, guys. Do want to see if we can get back there to $30. And so I'm not going to take it all off, but that puts us up a nice little 193, guys. What a swing trade from 31.97. I appreciate the super sticker. Not a bad one there. Market movers with a nice little $10 super sticker there. We'll see what happens, guys. Appreciate the love. Nice little trade there on DraftKings to the short side. Buy the rumor, sell the news, baby. And a head and shoulders pattern. Not bad, guys. So let's continue to watch. And why am I selling here? Always looking for resistance to become support. So look where we're at right now at a prior resistance on the hourly. That's where we can find some support. So I got to at least take some profits there. Next layer through this is a cut down through 30s going towards 29.80s. So that's going to be the final outlook for profit, right? No matter what, this stock will be a profit for me, but I'm going to keep swing trading a little bit more if it can go to 29.80s. NVIDIA trying to get back there through the 450s here. That's where it's going to be very important to watch. 451's trying to show up back on NVIDIA. Keep your eyes on that level. I think it's an important one to watch on the day, especially if it just rips to the upside, because that will shake the market right back here. So I don't know which way it's going to go right now. I'm just saying that, hey, I got to keep an eye out on this. And I agree. It's something definitely to watch. KRE trying to get to the 43.20 spot there. Went to 43.16. Still not in the spot where I want to get short on it. I'm just trying to be patient here and then watch it and then hammer time. On the hourly for KRE is another reason why. I mean, look at this, guys. One. So a lot of times, what am I looking for, right? I'm looking for down one, up 1, down 2, up 2, down 3, up 3. Now we're still starting to reject these areas. This is your resistance area, right? Now I'm looking for the takedown of the support, which is down in this area. So we'll see what happens here on the KRE. So you guys see what I'm coming after here. HAIN. Let's take a look there. $10 starting to come back. Nice little move on the day so far. Let's take a look at the 15 minutes. Straight move up out the gates, advancing shoulders move. So be careful with pullbacks because that could happen any moment. But where's the next hourly resistance? That's what I would want to look at. Hourly chart tells me resistance, prior support, 1060s right here. Next layer from there, you can get that move to 1080s and 11. So that's the next layer, but you could always pull back from these layers. This is a little bit of a drop-off return, and sometimes you get about 50% of the move down. That's from 940 to 1220s. What is that? That's about like $3, right? If I just estimate it. So maybe about $1.50 move back from 940s. What is that? That's going to be what, 1090s. So maybe we get back there to 11. That'd be my top outlook on this HAIN. There's NVIDIA now up there to 451.83s. So that's why I'm watching it. I think it's an important stock to watch. Another one will be Microsoft, right? Microsoft is having a strong day, just pulled back off the 332s, now trying to come back up. We'll see if Apple can get into the green. That's always one to kind of keep an eye out. If that just rips back, got to be careful there. KRE, still not making the move, though. It could just start going down here, so I'm keeping a close eye on it. Still hasn't gone through that 43.20 spot. But it could just start going down here through the 43.10 spot. So I'm just considering, do I go short the KRE? I've already made good money on KRE. I'm looking to see if maybe I get one more pop and then I can see the drop come in. NVIDIA just taking off, and that's just a scary outlook there. So NVIDIA coming back up to 453s. SPY coming back to VWAP. Q's coming back above VWAP. Microsoft right at VWAP. Amazon got that VWAP bounce. That's why it looked good, interesting earlier. I talked about this as a bullish setup. 142 off the 142 back to 143 already. Nice little point there for what risk? 40 cents. Not too bad. All right, guys, I'm going to take a second here, a little break, but like always, smash the like, guys. Don't worry. We still got a lot more for you guys right here. We got all access coming up. I want to tell you guys a little bit about our FinTech event. So if you guys don't know, we are having a big FinTech event that I want you guys to go ahead and join in. It's our deal days and awards. You guys can definitely check them out. I'm going to give you guys the link here to the FinTech awards. So definitely sign up if you haven't done so already, if you guys want to tune in for that. And I'll go ahead and play you guys a little bit of a trailer here as we take a little bit of a break. It's been an awesome day. DraftKings, major win there, guys. Really battling there on that DraftKings swing. It's bouncing a little bit today, but as long as it doesn't get back above 31s, I'll let it just play out. We'll see what happens here as Amazon tries to take that up move. NVIDIA now back to 452s, tried to get to 453s. Let's see if it takes out 455s today and continues an uptrend. Palantir showing up there for me as that recovers. Keep your eyes on that. 270s now back for Tesla. Was that a downside fake out to the downside? And it's going to go right back to 274. Something to take a look at, right? We'll see what happens there. Oracle, that was big red, right? Will this start to reverse, right? Remember how I talked to you guys that maybe we'd get like kind of like a red to green action move on that? I felt like that could reverse now. We got that downside action right out the gates here. So I kind of like this pullback for Oracle if we start getting an up tape. So 110 pullback here looks interesting for me on Oracle. All right, guys, let's take a little bit look into the trailer. We'll be right back. Small trailer, guys, 40 seconds, and we'll keep going. All right, guys, shorting a little bit of KRE right there in the break, taking a shot there. I started seeing it go down to the 43.10 spot, so I wanted to take that 43.10 spot. I just did it right there. I can add to 43.20s now, but don't want to let it pass 43.20s. This prior support acting as resistance. Of course, I always talk about that. So that's kind of this layer here. Didn't want that to get past that. Was trying to short off of that layer, but taking a little bit of a shot right now, right out the gates. We'll see if the market does come up. Oracle holding well there to the upside. So who knows? Maybe we see tech come up here and still continue to lift. Nvidia is the one that I'd keep an eye out there. Nvidia is looking strong, and if it takes 453s, 455, I think this Oracle could also just come up through right back through 111.60s here, and it got crushed in the last couple of days, so could see this start to make its way back. CRM, I'd like to see come back also. We'll see what happens around the market. SOXL pullback right there. VWAP now taking off there towards 2144s. Tells me all I need to know in that area. So semiconductors look good. Micron, another one that's getting another uplift, has a nice daily chart that it's starting to hold here and starting to make another up move for 72. That's when I'll take a look there at Intel. Intel's pulled back there, now starting to get back above the VWAP. Pullbacks to 38.50s seem interesting there for Intel. So this move actually looks pretty interesting here. Intel move back above, let's say 38.90s. Wouldn't be looking bad there. We'll see if it takes another step up. Going to take a look to, of course, NVIDIA to see if that can continue to drive, because NVIDIA keeps driving. And we'll probably see these stocks follow here. AMD also getting a nice little drive back to 107. So you're seeing that strength there in the semiconductor area. Micron, a lot of stocks staying strong there. IonQ making an up move. And this is why I don't want to short IonQ before the ARM IPO that will come out tomorrow. Be careful out there. I think this could get a nice little uplift. AI came down today earlier. Back up above 28. This actually looks interesting for me for a short play, but that's only if the market comes right back down. If not, AI could squeeze here. So I'm keeping an eye on the SPY to see if we reject a move back above 446.50s here and we come right back down towards 446. If that happens, AI could be in a kind of VWAP reversal trade there. VWAP is slightly under here. I have VWAP towards 27.75. So I'm going to give it a chance here to see if it recovers. I'm not jumping in it earlier. I'd want to see a takedown. We'll see if it does come back, though. KRE starting to get to that 43.20 area that way. I got to keep an eye on it. This is where I can add to it if I want to. I'll just keep an eye on it for now. What I want to see it do is just make sure that it comes back through my levels. So for right now, I'm going to set a stop there at 28, risk about $50. But want this to get right back down here. We'll see what happens. $43.19s. Might have given me a little fake out to the downside and then getting caught a little bit. So we'll see if I'm caught there on the KRE. Not stressing it though too much. Q's rejecting a little bit of that upside action. Looking to see if NVIDIA could take 454s. That's going to be a good stock to kind of keep an eye out for. Microsoft already coming back above VWAP. Apple trying to recover VWAP, hasn't recovered VWAP right now, is doing the third VWAP touch on the day. Apple, let's take a look there. AAPL, of course. You can see how it's tried to make a bottom around this 174.60 area. Let's see if it comes back to that area. I'll keep an eye on that. All right, definitely smash the like, guys. You guys are enjoying the action. We're having a good time here, guys. Let's keep it going, guys. You know where you're at, of course. Live trading with Benzinga. Over 300 of you guys. How we doing in the like department? 180. Come on. Let's break it, guys. Break the resistance at 200. Let's go. Smash it up, guys. You guys enjoying the action. We've had an amazing trade on WeWork today. So I hope somebody was able to nail WeWork. What's WeWork doing now? Ooh, look at that pullback, guys. Now coming back to the 510. We'll see if it holds 5. That's kind of the area where I definitely think it needs to hold. But if it comes right back up, this could be an opportunity also. ARE now going a little bit lower. So that looks interesting as it starts to get below VWAP. I just want to keep an eye on the SPY here. See if we come right back towards 445s, or are we going to go back up through the 447? Those are the levels that I'm looking at. Like always, you guys choose your own, but interesting day indeed today. Can NVIDIA take out the highs of 454? Keeping a close eye on that. JPM is right back down. So that's another reason why I'm short the banks. We'll see what happens if it starts to work there. FAZ holding VWAP. Can it hold VWAP and get back up through 77s? We'll see what happens there. 1777. KRE, will it get back to the green? We'll find out. What's up with Stellantis? At some point, I think this stock is going to be a short, and it could go into a strike. Little part of me feels like shorting this stock, right? So I might take a little bit of a short on this at some point today. Don't mind it. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I want to see it break 19. So I'm going to set an alert there for a breakdown through 19. I'm not touching it till it breaks down there, though. KRE getting back up there. Now 22s. Could get stopped out in a second here. We'll see what happens. Hendricks, I need you to sit down. I need you to pay attention here. All right, guys. We'll see if it gets there through. I'm up towards 28, so it gives me a little bit of a room to hit 25s, but could get me out there at the 28s, right? We'll see what happens. SPY still trying to come back up. Oracle still setting up for that VWAP move. So if you guys are looking for, okay, what can I get a move right now for some upside action? This is an interesting one to take a look at. Can't guarantee anything, of course, but it's just one that I'd be looking at right now. Microsoft is interesting also. That's now trying to take the 335s. We'll see if that takes out the 335 level. And then, of course, take a look for NVIDIA to keep going. NVIDIA is setting up right now. Look at that. Nice little setup. If it goes to 455, this is probably going to break through. Qs will be probably at new highs. Look at the Qs setting up right now. 374. Can it do a move to 375 here? Or is it going to reject and chop around at this 374? It could chop here. Let's see it. What you want, NVIDIA? You want to take the lead? Let's find out. WeWork still moving off the VWAP, volume slowing down. It's not a bad one. You got in at 515, out at 530. Not a bad one. What was our entrance there today on WeWork? We can take a look at it. Let's see here. First buy. Let's see what the first buy was. All right, so the first buy on WeWork was at 478. Then an ad at 485. Then another ad at 479. And then first sales were $5. Second sell was 530. And then we got 565s. And then the remaining at 518. So just pieced it out along the way, guys. KRE just stopped me out, and it could go right back down. It just kind of clicked on me, and it's just like a penny above. But hey, I'll get out of that trade. Took a little bit of a hit there. And that's the key. Just got to keep it towards the right risk to reward profile. Gave it a shot. Didn't work out here. We could see the NVIDIA take up to the highs right here. Let's see if it takes the 455s and keeps going to the upside here. Stocks out pushing strong. NVIDIA has been strong. Oracle just hanging out on that VWAP there. See if this gets a nice little move here. Kind of like it off of the 110 area. But just got to see if we can get that up move here in NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA is going to lead here. There's NVIDIA leading already. Oracle looking interesting. Which taking off here. 454. On NVIDIA, kind of like this here. We can just get a nice little pullback right now. I'll take a shot here. It's already getting a nice little uplift towards 110.30s. Looking for 110.20s on pullbacks right now. It's already going to the 45. I'm trying to get filled at 110.20s. So you guys see the limit order right now. Trying to get a starter, 50 shares. A little bit of a pullback is what I need. See if I can get it. Pulling back a little bit more just because I could see the pullback coming in already a little bit. And I just want to see if it can get me a nice little quick sweep pullback where I can get in and then look for the push up. DraftKings, I got to keep an eye out on that. Just don't want it to get back above the 32s. So we'll see what happens there. All right, guys, like always, you guys can check out what you guys see in the corner here. And I'll go ahead and I'll put the QR code right over the screen here. You guys can check out, of course, Trade the Pool. That's what you guys see me using right here. Do you guys have been looking at any stock trading prop firm? Are you guys looking to check out what a prop firm is? Or are you looking to maybe get some more buying power? Well, and now, as you guys see me right here on DraftKings, you could swing trade also. Just got to know how to work it. We'll see what happens there. Trade the Pool, guys. Check it out. Ben wants to ask me about American Airlines. Am I going to be adding to American Airlines? Let's take a look at how it's trading right now. Let me see. I'm just going to take a look on the right-hand side because this is kind of the area where I should add, but I would have to hold towards this low, 13.35, no matter what. So if I wanted to add, that would be the spot. What I need to see is a reverse of trend. That still hasn't happened. So what do I mean by a reverse of trend? A lot of times I'm going to draw like a trend line on the daily and see when can that reverse, especially when I'm in it. My last ad should be when that starts to go back green, not necessarily on the pullback. I don't like that last ad on the pullback here. So I'm just going to hold here towards the support, which is to the 13. If that gets me out, that's going to be a bigger loss, but I think this is going to be one that I'm going to hold a little bit more here just because I feel like the weekly candle has made that low and it could come back through the 14. So we'll see what happens on that one. I can show you that outlook right here. So this is, of course, AAL. This is the line pulling back. Wanted to hold that 1350s. If it can come back through this 14, change this weekly trend, right? It's been a weekly trend of what? It's been 2 months of straight down. That's why I think it's front running the oil move. And that's why I'm paying attention to see when oil can turn around. If oil gets to 100, yeah, I'll get stopped out of this move. But if it rejects 90s and comes back down into the lower 80s, we work our way into the 70s sometime next week. Yeah, that's the type of move that could turn this trade right back to the upside. All right, guys, let's keep going. What else is being mentioned out in the chat? Starting to plugging it. Oh, we'll see what happens there. Pluggy plug. All right, NVIDIA pulled back there. Yeah, it pulled back just a little bit off the 453s. Let's see if we can get Oracle now. Pulled back to the 20s or the 30 spot here. Kind of like it here, guys. See how the Qs are doing. Qs are pulling back a little bit. Could see a little bit of a pullback before we get the next lift here. So that's what I'm looking for. We could get a nice little pullback on the Qs back towards 373.80s. $30 still setting up here on Oracle. There it starts to get through there with 30s. They're starting to make a move. I'm looking at it, guys. It looks interesting for me. Could still pull back, though. So that's why I'm looking at the pullback. That's down towards 109.68. If I play it here, I have to play it off of kind of like some quicker lows. Look for a little bit more pullback. That's what I want to see. Don't want to be jumping too early in on this move because I'd have to risk off of right here, like let's say like 110.20s. There's 110.50s. It's starting to make the up move here. Could be a little bit lagged and missing the move here. We'll see if it takes that up move through 111s. Q's pulling back there. That's why I'm watching NVIDIA pull back. That's why I'm not in this Oracle move right now. As NVIDIA starts to pull back there, that's something that I'm catching. All right, guys, it seems like we're getting a little bit of some mixed signal here as we get NVIDIA to pull back. The SPY's pulling back a little bit there. Could be reloading here. So we'll see what happens on the Qs as that pulls back a little bit. Going to make the move to 375. All right, bank's getting a lift today, so that's turning that trade around. So that could get us going back into the green in a lot of sectors. I need to take a look at the sector outlook here and see what else is in the green and starting to get an uplift. Healthcare with a nice uplift today now has pulled back. Areas that are looking good there are diagnostics, research, medical devices, medical care. Just looking to see how those healthcare plans were going to make a move today. Those are coming right back down. CVS is still in the green, but a lot of those in the red. I'm looking for some trend here. DHR, TMO, really strong on the day. Those stocks are doing well. Industrial still in the red. That's interesting to see. Caterpillar has pulled back multiple times. Deere taking off back up above the 400. Gave me the 400 outlook, man. I keep missing Deere off the 400. It's just hard for me to trade, guys. Deere is a hard one for me to trade. The way that it moves, it's just so hard. I have to get such a little amount on the swing trade action for me to jump in there at 400 and risk like $4 or $5. It's tough, but this looks interesting. I also like Cat, right? Cat's on the pullback right now up to the 280s. Multiple lows have been in that area. Does it hold 280 today and start working its way back? A car is another one that I'd be looking to see if it can get an up action move, but it's pulling back right now. Energy going down today. Let's see if it VWAP rejects or starts to recover VWAPs. BTU, of course, was on the radar. Let's see how that's pulled back. Yeah, it's pulled back and now trying to hold VWAP. But man, do I trust BTU on the pullback today? That's the harder one. We'll see what happens on that. CEIX starting to come back here. That's not looking too bad. Arch, not looking that bad. A coal stock. It's taking a look around, guys. All right, guys, at 10:47 in a little bit, we'll get towards all access. Looking to take another trade here, but also seeing that the trading is kind of like slowing down a little bit. I want to see what the next step up here is going to be. Is it going to be a move through NVIDIA's 455? It's holding the 450 pullbacks today. That's definitely an important level to watch for on pullbacks, but could just take the next levels up any moment here. Apple still in the red there. So I wanted to see if Apple went to the green. That's a move back above 175.50s on the day. We'll see what happens there. Microsoft remaining strong. It's going to keep a watch on that stock. Tesla trying to recover VWAP. It just pulled back to the 271 area. It seems like an interesting support area, this 271. Let's see if it takes the 274 to the upside. All right, let's see if I can take a little bit of some Tesla trade here. Make a little bank. What do you guys think? Tesla? The Tesla Dragon. All right, that'd be the 271 move right now. If I wanted to take it, it'd be about like $1 risk off the 270s. Qs, I don't know which way you're going, so that's the area where I'm getting a little confused. Are we going back up? We could be making a nice little up move here. NVIDIA is really the key like reader for me right now in the market. We push back to 455. I think we can do it. We're pulling back a little bit more here. Still pulling back on NVIDIA. A little bit choppy, right? A little bit choppy. So let's see if we create a higher low back to 450s. So looking for a little bit more pullback. On Tesla, 1, 2, 3. Another attempt for like maybe 270s. I don't want to jump in right now just because it's just still too choppy on the market. Could still pull back to 269 on a really quick pullback. So I'm just staying on the sideline right now, guys. I want to take some trades, but everything looks a little bit confusing right now. Instead of jumping in when I don't see a clear trend, I just got to stay off right now. GM trying to make an up move. I think to me right now, it's all about NVIDIA. Will it grab this 452 pullback off the 9 EMA? Could be the area to kind of watch. There's Tesla recovery through the 271s. So here's the opportunity, at least, if I wanted to jump right quick. But I'm going to stay off a little bit. Look for the sideways consolidation to kind of continue. Look for maybe the SPY and the Qs to come back to the VWAP. And then I would take my shot a little bit later in the day. We'll see what happens there on Tesla if it takes out those highs. It's 10:51, guys. We'll get over to All Access in just a little bit. How do you think about Macy's? Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Mary. Mary wants to take a look at Macy's. That's looking pretty bad right now, but I got to take a look at the daily chart here. Let me take a look at the daily chart. 1150s pulling back here on Macy's, and it's been big red. This tells me that the retail trade is a very scary trade. The consumer's slowing down. Could this reverse off of the 1150s? Yes. But it could also just break through the next layer. Like I always say, support until it isn't. Just be careful on that one. All right, Q's trying to make that up move, but I don't trust it at all right now. We'll see what happens there. And we're going to just keep battling, team. Al Nelson, new member, signing up. Appreciate you signing up and becoming a member. RTX Green. That's interesting to see. Little bounce back in the defensive names. That could help XLI bounce a little bit. See if that bounces. And I also wanted to look at IBB today. See if that could get the bounce. Ooh. IBB looks interesting here on the pullback. Of course, I grabbed some for the swing trade, so I can actually add on this. I'm just slightly in the red, so I'm not going to add on the swing trade. But this looks like a good trade on the day trade here off the 127.80 spot. 1, 2, 3. Let me see if I can get a 75 attempt and then a reversal back through it. Dun, dun, dun. Want to see some wick action go to the 75, 70s, and then come right back up for IBB. See how those names are doing today. I know Moderna was on the pullback, now starting to catch that dip. A lot of buying coming off this 110 area. That was the area we were looking at pullbacks earlier, 110 to 109. That was the area that I was looking at. We had a couple of wicks. We had a wick that went to 109.75. So that could be the stock that kind of leads the out action. BRTX is looking good. Regeneron's looking good. Gilead looking good on the pullback off 77.30s. It's looking bad there for IBB. There's the cut through towards the 127.75. See if it starts to come back through 127.92s. Qs overall now starting to pull back a little bit more. So I'm going to look for those pullbacks eventually to try to get through. We'll see what happens on those. But it's been a hell of a day there for DraftKings. We'll look for DraftKings to continue going. The best trade on the account so far. Cashed in, guys. Have cashed in over $300 on this name already. We'll look to see if this can continue going down. DraftKings, really good trade here. And we'll see if it can continue breaking down. Go through the pre-market lows of 30.10 and keep going down on the day. Above 31s, might take the profits, but we'll see what happens there on DraftKings. All right, let's keep going. Snow is a Morningstar top long-term stock. That's not a bad one to keep a watch. When you hear those long-term call-outs, though, be careful on those because those could catch you on the intraday action, right? We'll see what happens there. Tesla trying to come back up through this 271. This could be the push here. I'm not going to jump in right now, but that does look interesting there. Oracle taking off there. I talked about that one multiple times here and how this could recover today. Now a nice little recovery of 111s. We'll see if it gets back up there towards the high highs right now, 111.80s, 111.78, somewhere in the 11.75. We'll see if that acts as resistance. But Oracle with a nice move up. All right, it's been that type of day, guys. Keep your eyes also on Pfizer to see if it goes into the green. That could also mean good things for Moderna. Now Moderna trying to come back, Pfizer trying to come back. So these are stocks that I keep watch. Of course, CDC mentioned that COVID vaccines and recommending it for anybody. I'll give you guys the exact headline here. So what happened was CDC advised all Americans 6 months and older to receive an updated COVID vaccine from both Moderna and Pfizer. So we'll see if that can affect the shareholders today. We see some shareholder appreciation from that mention. We've already gotten a nice pop. We'll see if we get another pop. IBB is definitely on the radar. I'm swing trading that on the swing trade account for Start Swing Trade. But we'll see right now if it kind of can come right back and make this up move. I kind of like this move today. We'll see what happens there in IBB. All right, guys, we're going to bring you guys over to All Access in just a second. We'll be out of here. Ben, you're in Greenville, South Carolina? Yeah, we're close enough, man. Got to do a little bit of a meetup. I'll have to plan that out. Always, Mary, I'm here to answer questions whenever you got a question. All right, how we doing out there, team? What was your best trade of the day? If you had a good trade, let us know right now. We can take a look at some of that action and some of the trades that you guys had today. Of course, I had a great trade on got stopped out on AXLA. Gonna be transparent, like, right? We're not every trade can't go into the green, unfortunately. But what do? We battle, team. That's what it's all about. CXAI pulling back to $2. We'll see how that one does on the day. AI overall rejecting that 28. Remember, I talked about potentially this could be a setup for a downside action move, a move back above 28s, and then rejecting 28 on like kind of a little bounce here. Doesn't look too bad here for a move back towards 27.40s. About 10 cents, 50 cents on the downside. So I'd have to risk off the 28s, 28.10s here. We'll see what happens on AI today. J2K says shorted AI at the open. Hey, not looking too bad. We'll see how that one works out. The DraftKings, though, right back down. That's what I want to see, guys. I'm trying to ride this swing trade. We'll see what happens there on DraftKings. And so you guys see here, trade the pool. You can swing trade. And I think that that's really good for other traders that maybe day trading isn't your best game, right? So you can swing trade. You just have to use lower buying power because you have overnight rules. I explained it for my buying power package. It's about 8,000. So I can continue playing more and more games like this of the overnight action. I like playing those plays. The key is I use a lot of daily and I try to bring in story or fundamentals into it, right? Have a high conviction play for an overnight action type of play. We'll see if this can keep going lower on the day. All right, guys, we're going to switch over now to All Access. I'm taking down my charts. We'll bring on the one, the only Zunade, of course. How we doing, my friend?
Doing well, man. How are you? How's the trading treating you?
Not too bad today. It's all about DraftKings, and it's been a swing trade, a buy the rumor, sell the news type of trade. I know you look into the psychology all the time, and you know how a lot of people see resistance and things like that. So I was calling the NFL trade to the upside. And then once the NFL trade started, I said, let's flip. Let's go to the downside, baby. Sometimes it's like that, right? Two sides of every coin is how it is sometimes.
Yeah, no question about it, folks. You can take a look at Amazon as it breaks 143.58. But I appreciate you holding it down, pal, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, we miss you, man. You got to come by sometime. Have a good one.
Schedule that in. Take care. See ya. All right, chat. We appreciate you for hanging out with us for live trading. But now it's time for All Access, where you and we talk to executives from publicly traded companies so we can get your questions answered and see what is going on within the company itself. And today we've got a great interview with Dr. James Woody, who is the CEO of 180 Life Sciences. Ticker on NASDAQ is ATNF. All Access starts right now. Good morning, Dr. Woody. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. There's so much to talk about. I know you've got some cool things going on, but for the folks at home, if you could explain it to us like I'm five, what is it that your company does?
Yeah, we're a biotech company that's working on novel indications for inflammation, fibrosis, and pain. And about back in the 90s, my colleagues and I invented the very first anti-TNF agent. And your clients are probably familiar with treatment for rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, psoriasis, and ulcerative colitis. And my colleagues and I invented all of that. And now it's a $40 billion a year industry. So we're finding new things to do with anti-TNF, and we've got some really promising data.
Now, I know you just mentioned the three big things, market opportunities, I believe is what y'all call it, with the inflammation, fibrosis, and pain. Can you
Right.
share a brief overview of each one for us?
Sure. A lot of the pain that people have is associated with, say, fibrosis. And once the inflammation starts and the fibrosis starts, the pain continues. And typically, people use things like Aleve or Advil to relieve it. But sometimes that doesn't work, and then they move upscale into stronger drugs than opioids, which is, of course, never desirable.
Yeah.
We have found out that in some cases, all of this fibrosis and pain is driven by TNF. And if we inject the local area with anti-TNF, which is what we created previously, we can shut the whole process down and let them live pain-free. So we've got some early data on that, and we're now meeting with the regulatory agencies to see what we need in terms of advanced trials to get this approved and on the market.
You guys have had great success thus far, but none of this comes cheap, right? You need money to back all the research and all the processes that you're going through. From my understanding, the company's clinical trials have been funded entirely by grants. So can you give us an idea on the strategy behind the approach here?
Yeah, sure. If you're doing clinical trials, say in the US, you have to pretty much pay for it. And these comes at bills of 10 or $15 million each. With our trials initially starting in the United Kingdom, we're able to get grants from the National Health Service and Wellcome Trust and several to be able to run the trials, and we own the data. So this works out cash flow very efficient. And so we've got the early data, and now we're going to the next stage where we'll do probably trials in the US, not only in England and in the European Union, which is going to require us to raise more money. But given the data that we have and the strategy, we think we'll be okay. It's just going to be a while. And none of this happens quickly, unfortunately. Regulatory agencies are always kind of slow in responding to what we need.
I mean, I remember in college, I'd be happy if I got a $5,000 grant. So getting millions of dollars, I can only imagine how much of a load it takes off of y'all. There's so many folks that try to go ahead and take care of one problem. I'm going to assume you have competitors as well. So my question would be, how is 180 Life Sciences kind of meeting the unmet need of the patients that are suffering from, let's say, inflammatory diseases differently than the industry peers that you have?
Well, what we've done, which is different, is in many conditions, we've actually gotten human tissue biopsies and worked out the metabolic pathways that we need to block. And since my colleagues and I discovered the first anti-TNFs, nobody's done much other than those same indications. And we found that there's a condition in the hand, palm of the hand, called Dupuytren's contracture, about 20 million in the US that have this. And over time, this nodule forms and it pulls your fingers together, and eventually you have to have surgery. Ronald Reagan had this, and as well as several other people. And so we figured out that injecting anti-TNF into this nodule shuts the whole process down, so they don't end up with the disability. So that's one. There's another condition called frozen shoulder, which we think is driven the same way, and that's extremely painful. And nobody's done anything about any of these. They inject steroids, which really don't work, and eventually they have to go to surgery with a long series of rehab afterwards. And the third indication, which is quite peculiar, is that if people go through major surgery, for example, like a coronary artery bypass or a hip replacement or things, a fair number of them have what they call fog after the surgery, and we all have some grandparents or somebody who's done that, and they're foggy for a while. And in some cases, they never recover, end up in a nursing home. And so we are pretty sure this is driven by TNF as well. And we're doing a trial starting in this quarter to show that we can shut this process down too. So these are whole new indications that nobody has ever thought of before. But we have a very innovative team to move things ahead. And there will be other things coming along where we'll be able to be the very first to figure it out. And these are unmet needs because nobody has anything to do for these people.
You mentioned innovative, and that takes me right to my next conversation here, which when Johnny, who did the research on these questions in your company, also, matter of fact, we've got someone in the chat asking the same thing. You've got 180 Life Sciences that currently is working on the combination of CBD and GLP-1 for appetite suppression. Can you share a bit more about the cutting edge research that's happening in the background here? And of course, you've also got a second half question there from Julie as well.
Yeah, sure. Our chief scientific officer actually worked at Amylin, where they discovered the GLP-1 process. And now you're seeing people taking these GLP-1 agonists and losing weight, okay? But they have some side effects. And it turns out that we pretty much know where this GLP-1 works, what it binds to. And it turns out that some of it is on the vagal nerve. And some of the CBD derivatives that we've developed also bind to the vagal nerve. And we think that a combination of those two would probably lead to better appetite suppression, avoiding maybe some of the side effects of the GLP-1 process. So we're in the process of actually doing that research as well. So if it works out, we have another group working on making the CBDs orally available, because first of all, the CBD you buy across the counter has about 100 compounds in it. So it's not exactly what you want for a drug. So we would use single compounds. And also we'll make it so that it's orally available. And that's a process that's going on. So we have a number of things to try to link these two together to assist the weight loss process that would not have much in the way of side effects.
You mentioned opioids earlier in the conversation, and obviously, unfortunately, when famous people die, it kind of becomes more popular, but there's always the average American that kind of deals with that unfortunate tragedy as well. So that brings me to the next question in terms of the company's vision, I believe is somewhere along the lines of the safer pain management, right? I'm curious on how that program's going and how y'all are planning to take advantage of that to make sure that folks aren't addicted to what's supposed to help them.
Well, we know, for example, in the CBD area that in generally they're not addictive, and they don't cause hallucinations or anything. So we've got data on that already. So we're trying to make these so that they would be readily available just in a pill form. So that would be useful. So we want to get a drug that's kind of between the NSAIDs, the Advils, and the Aleve and opioids that would be non-addictive and also provide some pain relief. And we've got data to show that we think we can do that, and animal models and other things. So we're pretty pleased about that. It just takes a long time to get all of this done, as all pharmaceutical product development goes.
And for the folks at home that are curious, that is the SCA, which is the Synthetic Cannabinoid Analogs Program. You can do more research on that after we get done with this conversation. Couple more here, and then we'll kind of turn the floor over to you. Which this is kind of really cool, where y'all have an agreement to perform a clinical pharmacology study of CBD in a pill format of it. What are the plans for the study, and what are some long-term advantages for patients if they are able to access the CBD in a pill rather than oil?
Yeah, right. So CBD is not very orally available. Excuse me. Even the oil version, which is used primarily for pediatric seizures, you're never quite sure how much you're getting and how much gets into the blood. And so our colleague in Israel, who's an expert in this area, has worked out a formulation that he feels will be orally available, and we have some data on that. And he's going to do a real trial in patients to see if that turns out to be true. If it is, then we'll move on next to pain trials. And as it turns out, even rheumatoid arthritis patients that are taking anti-TNF, their pain isn't totally controlled. And we'll be setting up a trial in patients like that, since we know a lot about rheumatoid arthritis and a lot of experience, and treat the pain that they have along with the anti-TNF to shut down the inflammation. And that'll give us an idea of how well this works. And if it works well there, we'll extend that to any other painful condition where we can provide an oral drug that's not addictive.
Last one for me, and I know you have SEC guidelines that you have to obey by, but my friend, Billionaire Chimp, is looking to be a trillionaire. So I'm curious in terms of what can we expect as potential investors. Investors have already put their money hard at work with your company in terms of bringing back shareholder value. What's in the pipeline in the future that folks can kind of look forward to? Any insights you can share there?
Yeah, well, it's been a long process, and I have to say, dealing with the UK regulatory agencies has been difficult because everything takes a long time to get done. So that's a problem we've suffered with all along. The FDA actually works quite a bit better, and so we're in touch with them as well. Going forward, we will initiate the trials to actually get these approved and on the market. We have lots of patents around our positions, and we think we'll have pretty big market size for all three of those indications that I mentioned. Now, it's going to take time, but that's the way drug development is. In the future, it turns out that there's specific receptors for TNF, and we might look towards making specific drugs that would be even more attractive than the current anti-TNF agents that block everything. So we have some plans for the future to be maybe the next generation of TNF inhibitor companies.
Well, 180 Life Sciences definitely do some cool things. I'm really looking forward to the CBD in a pill format that you guys are working on. So that'll be something I'll follow along. But Dr. Woody, before I let you go, we've talked a lot about what's happening within your company and what to look forward to, but the floor is kind of yours in case you had anything else to share with our viewers.
Well, I mean, we have a really excellent team of people who are very smart at developing things. And the strength is that we're working in new areas where we have clear air. For example, what's happening right now in the TNF industry, which I said is a $40 billion a year industry, there's probably 5 or 8 companies all developing the same drug. And as of about the next month or so, these are all going to come on the market. So these are going to be a feeding frenzy for between biosimilars and the other products that are out there. And this is going to be trouble for everybody, including, of course, AbbVie. We're giving them clear air because nobody's done what we're doing, and we're giving people an opportunity to have a new indication that they own for the next 17 to 20 years. So we think that'll be very attractive to some of these pharmaceutical companies that are making unique biosimilars. So all of that's on the table moving forward.
Well, I look forward to the execution of it all. Thank you so much. That is Dr. James Woody, who is the CEO of 180 Life Sciences. Ticker on NASDAQ is ATNF. Thank you once again, Doc.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. We appreciate you in the chat for hanging out with us and asking those questions as well, because Johnny does a great job with the research and the team as a whole, but it's always good because we do this for y'all, the viewers. So when you get a chance to ask your questions, please absolutely do. And we, again, appreciate you for watching All Access. We'll see you next time.